Hi, I'm Rich Conradi with Diamond Products, and we're going to go over some of the features and benefits of our M5 and M5 Pro core rigs. Some of the benefits for the core rig itself. This was based on the M4 core rig. The setup that we have here is with the CB733 3-speed motor. This can also be set up with any of our other motor options. So as far as power and bit capacity, we can do a broad range of core bit sizes and motor options to suit the customer's need. The 3-speed motor that we have on it will basically go from 3/4 inch to 12 inch. This core rig, the M5, without any type of spacer, will do up to 12 inch maximum capacity. There is a cam lock quick connect, so this is easily removable. Put the core rig up on a wall or a ceiling or whatever, and then mount his motor and core bit following. So easy on the operator. It's lightweight. This was based, like I said, on our M4 rig. And the customers were wanting something that had a bigger capacity, so we basically made a larger version of the M4, and that's what this is. Connecting the quick connect, basically you just put the top two pegs in, drop it into place, the center pin drops in, 3/4 wrench, quarter turn, locks it into place. One of the features on this core rig is the angle capacity. Basically, it will angle to 45 degrees by loosening the two bolts, so the one on the top of the carriage and the one on the bottom of the mast. Okay, and then once those are loose, you can move it into the position that you want, tighten those bolts back up, and you're ready to go. The carriage features a locking mechanism, which is this plunger assembly here. Basically locks the carriage in place. So you have a little indent on the spring plunger to where you can turn it 90 degrees, and then that allows you to freely move your carriage. Okay, once you get in the carriage position that you want, you can turn this 90 degrees and it locks into place, and that will lock the carriage in place with the bit. This is set up with a vacuum system. This is a combo base assembly. Combo meaning that it's a combination of anchor and vacuum. This is our vacuum pump system. In order to use a mechanical anchor, then what we would do is remove the slot cap here, and then this would take a normal 1/2-13 drop-in anchor or wedge anchor and a bolt. So the vacuum system has a quick release, so if a customer is doing multiple holes, they can basically stop the drill motor, pull the T-valve assembly here underneath the handle, this white valve, and that will release the vacuum pressure and allow you to move the rig. You just release that, and once you get the rig into position for the next hole, and the vacuum will basically suck back down. The rig is provided with 4 leveling bolts. So with these leveling bolts, you can basically set it up and adjust your angle accordingly, measure your bit, and get everything squared away for that. As far as carriage adjustment, there are 2 adjusters on each side of the carriage. This just has a slide mechanism that fits into this rail on the side of the mast. Loosen this Allen bolt here, regular screwdriver, and you can turn this in or out, moves the puck in or out for the slide. I recommend just snugging the adjuster and then tightening the Allen bolt, going down, snugging the adjuster, tightening the Allen bolt. If you go too hard on that, it is possible to move the carriage from side to side, so you want to make sure that the carriage is adjusted correctly, and then check your bit for square. If it needs to be mounted on a wall. Basically, you would remove the quick connect motor mount, situate the rig on the wall, drill your anchor hole, mount the rig, mount the motor and bit, square it up, and you're ready to go. Okay, this is our CB733 motor that we have mounted to the M5 core rig. Some of the features that we have for this motor, you have a main switch box, so it does not require a control panel. Main on-off switch on the top, and there is an LED indicator next to the main on-off switch, which allows you to monitor your power feed while you're drilling. It also has a bubble level on the top of the motor and 2 bubble levels on the side to assist in the operator setting up the rig square. The unit is a 20 amp with a 3-speed gearbox capable of doing 3/4 inch up to 12 inch diameters. To change the speed on the motors, basically all you do is depress the gear shift lever. You have to move it a little bit, and once you get into the next gear, the orange button will pop out, and now you're in gear 2. There is a little chart on the side that tells you what gear is good for what diameters. So you look at this is in gear number 2, and gear number 2 will be good for 4 to 6 inch diameters. Gear 1 would be your low speed, that's going to be 6 inch to 12 inch, and gear 3 would be your high speed, which is 3/4 to 4 inch. If you need to put a larger diameter bit on the M5 or M5 Pro, you would use what's called an outrigger extension. This is the 3.5 inch outrigger extension. There's also a 5 inch outrigger extension. 3.5 and 5 refers to the thickness of the extension, so how far it pushes the motor out from the carriage. Basically double that in order to determine the bit size. So the M5 will do up to 12 inch diameter capacity standard. So adding the 3.5 will add 7 inches of capacity. So with this in place, you could do up to a 19 inch bit. Although with the 744, we only recommend going up to 18. So to put this in place, basically we get our motor out of the way. Drop this in place here, like so. This is our M5 Pro rig. We're going to go through some of the basic features. We have this unit here right now set up with our CB744 4-speed core drill motor. Some of the advantages for the M5 Pro over the M5, your main differences are going to be the mast and the carriage. As you can see, it's quite a bit more stout than the M5. That's by design. So this will do larger diameter capacity. As we have it set right now, we can go up to 12 inch. Instead of the slides for the M5, this one has heavy duty rollers for the Pro. And what this allows you to do is go to a larger diameter bit capacity and still have smooth operation. Okay? It has 2 types of carriage locks that are available on it. Similar to the M5 would be the carriage lock here. But basically it allows you to move the carriage into various positions and then turn the knob 90 degrees and lock it into place. So that way when you fire your drill motor, it's going to be locked in place. Handle is basically switchable from side to side, same as the M-5. We have a carriage adjustment knob here, and what this does is that allows you to basically limit your drilling speed. So the tighter you go here, you can actually lock the carriage in place. It has a cam lock quick connect similar to the M5, basically 3/4 inch, turns 90 degrees, allows you to remove the motor off the carriage so that you can mount the carriage to the wall or to the surface where you're drilling, and then easily mount the motor in the bit. In place, quarter turn, and the carriage is locked. Click, boom, done. Capacity to angle the rig, so basically 2 bolts, one at the top of the mast, one at the bottom. Loosen those 2 up, move it into the angle desired, tighten both bolts, you're good to go. There is a leveling feature on the back of the M5 Pro that basically allows you to mount the rig and center it so it's level. 4 leveling bolts on the bottom. Now this base here is our small anchor base. This is designed for anchor only. In order to use this with the vacuum, it is possible to use the all-purpose vacuum plate and then use the anchor base to mount to the vacuum plate. So this actually can be used with a vacuum, but you would have to have the all-purpose vacuum plate in order to do that. All right, we've already shown you the M5 Pro with the anchor base. This would be the same rig, excepting with the combination base, which allows you to use the rig in either a vacuum hold down or with a mechanical anchor. Another nice feature for the M5 Pro core rig is the gear reduction. With the handles on the right hand side with the gearbox, this is a 1-to-1 gear reduction. So when you're feeding the bit, it feeds slowly. Okay, once the bit is through the hole, you want to run the bit up out of the hole, you switch to the left side, which is a 2-to-1 gear reduction, which allows you to remove the bit from the hole quickly. But one of the differences between the CB733 and the CB744, like I was saying, was the CB733 is a 20 amp, which allows you to have a regular standard 3-prong outlet plug. So that can be into a normal residential house circuit. The CB744, however, is going to be a 125 volt 30 amp twist lock plug. The main reason that we have these on this unit is so that the customer doesn't go and plug this into a normal house power circuit that is normally going to be between 15 and 20 amp. So, and start throwing breakers. So this is a 3-prong twist lock. We do have extension cords suited for this that go from the 30 amp twist lock to a regular standard 3-prong plug. So those are available if the customer needs to do that.